content marketing, one-on-one sales, network, or whatever method you use to grow your business. And if you want to climb the corporate ladder, you have to form alliances, be strategic, outperform your targets, and be great at what you do. That's what you should do, right? Most of us already know these things. Or, you will find out about it. There's no such thing as a secret to succeeding at work. However, we prefer to escape work. And that's at the core of procrastination to me. You know what you have to do, but you don't do it. Instead, you open a news site and start reading useless news items. Or you browse your Instagram feed without liking one picture because you hate your life. Maybe you browse Zara, H&M, Net-a-Porter, Mr. Porter, or whatever online shop you like. That was, and to a degree still is, the story of my life. For example, I'm now working on a new book. I know what it's about and I also have a title. But writing is also very difficult work to me. So I look for relief. I answer emails, read articles, go for coffee, do some online shopping, and work on recurring tasks to run my business. It's not that I'm disorganized. It's because I'm battling myself. Stephen Pressfield calls this inner enemy resistance in his classic, The War of Art. And this is what he says about it: resistance is always lying and always full of shit. Do it today, not tomorrow. I always have to keep reminding myself of that. When you procrastinate, you always want to do it tomorrow. I'm still like that. I think that's hardwired into us. The difference between me now and 3 years ago is small but simple. I rely on a system to live a productive, happy, and purposeful life. Back then I had no idea how to get things done. I always gave up quickly, felt stuck, unhappy, and frustrated. But now, I've found a way to overcome my challenges. Here's how I did it. I exercise my mental toughness every day. I used to neglect my brain. I was mentally weak, thought too much, and didn't rely on myself. It wasn't because I lacked skills. It was because I didn't trust in my ability to figure things out. So I started reading about stoicism, pragmatism, and mindfulness, anything that helps you to control your thoughts and improve your mental toughness. I don't want to be a slave to my thoughts. I want the opposite. I exercise my body every day. When I don't exercise, I'm restless, lack focus, energy, and confidence. By exercising my brain and body every day, I'm always war ready. I learned that overcoming procrastination starts before you fight the war. Soldiers don't go to war untrained either, right? Be in great shape, mentally and physically. Always. I have a set of daily habits that help me to be in control of my life. I journal, read, set daily priorities, and don't consume useless information. I also make sure I interact with my friends and family every day. Human contact is important. This keeps me grounded. I don't have high expectations of life. And I enjoy my days. I never look beyond that. I always have a list of small, but important, tasks that I have to complete. Let's take my new book for example. I often want to escape difficult things like actually sitting down and writing. So I tell myself today is not a good day. But every time I think that, I open my list of small tasks and work on one of those things today. I study and practice the science of persuasion to get my message across. My mentor taught me, you can be the best writer and teacher in the world, but if no one knows about it, you can't make an impact. The science of persuasion helps you to write better pitches, cover letters, website copy, emails, etc. Of course, it takes time to develop the foundation of this strategy. And there's a lot more to it. But it's not magic. However, it's also not easy to live a productive life. And it's definitely not about technology or hacks. It's about developing a sustainable system to build your life, career, and business on. What's your system for living a productive life? Whatever it is, work on it today. Not tomorrow. What I do when I can't focus. Do you struggle to finish your tasks? Are you always distracted by notifications, gossiping, or anything that's random? In that case, you and I are alike. Because focusing on a single thing is one of the hardest things at work. There's always something that interrupts you, right? Another person. A call. A meeting. A false emergency. Your cat. A stranger's cat. News about last night's NBA game. Sure, you can blame those things, but that's weak. You and I both know that those things can't interrupt you without your permission. That means every time you're not focused, you're giving someone or something permission to enter your mind. Scary, isn't it? That's how I look at interruptions. But I have to admit that I can't maintain my focus all the time. Sometimes, I give in. It's not good. Your life doesn't benefit from gossiping, looking at Instagram 439 times a day, watching 49 YouTube videos, and reading negative news articles. So, what can you do to improve your focus? Here are 2 things that I always do when I find myself not being able to focus on what matters. 1. Eliminate. 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 Every day, we accumulate stuff. I'm not only talking about the stuff you're buying like clothes, kitchen equipment, house decorations, toys, gadgets, or whatever. We accumulate ideas. Have you ever thought about that? We're exposed to so many ideas that we adopt some of them, and make them our own. For example, many people have told me to create more YouTube videos. My family, friends, team members, readers, students, everybody has ideas. And they want to help. Likewise, I also share my ideas with others. Ideas about how you can improve your life, career, business, or relationships. We all do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It only becomes a problem if you don't filter the input you get from people. So after I heard from people that I should make YouTube videos, I thought to myself, hey, I should make YouTube videos. I've been thinking a lot about that for the past 6 months. And I also invested a lot of time in creating a strategy. What should my videos be about? Where should I record them? How should I edit them? What music should I use? I've been working on it a lot. And I recently published a video as well. The response was positive. There's only one problem: it consumes too much of my time and attention. As a consequence, I can spend less time on writing, podcasting, and creating new courses. And those are exactly the things that I want to do. I started a blog for a reason. I love to write, and I'm good at it. Therefore, the work is easier, compared to creating YouTube videos, which I'm not that good at. Plus, I thoroughly enjoy writing articles, books, and material for my online courses. When the work gets hard, I don't mind. But when I was working on YouTube videos, I got frustrated a lot. And again, my focus and work suffered from it. What did I do when I lacked focus? I asked myself this question: what things should I eliminate to make my life so simple that it's easy to focus? In this case, I stopped focusing on YouTube. Elimination is a key strategy that I use for many aspects of my life. We accumulate so much unnecessary baggage throughout the years that we consistently need to eliminate ideas, projects, work, objects, and so forth. If you find yourself struggling to focus, try this strategy. Make your life so simple that it's a breeze to live. And let's be honest here. Who wants to live a life that's impossible? Life is already hard enough. Don't make it harder. 2. Think about past success. Thinking about past success and happiness stimulates the production of serotonin, a chemical nerve our cells produce. Serotonin is the key chemical that affects every part of your body. Serotonin plays a huge role in our bodily functions. But it also helps to reduce depression, increase libido, stabilize mood, control sleep, and regulate anxiety. Serotonin also plays a massive role in our general well-being. But here's why serotonin matters to your focus. Serotonin also regulates delayed gratification. When your serotonin activity goes down, it can lead to a lack of focus on the long term. You are less likely to act on your plans. When you lose focus, there's a big chance that your serotonin activity is low. That's why you are giving into short-term pleasures like going out, drinking, shopping, having sex, watching TV, or anything else that gives you short-term pleasure. To improve your focus, boost your serotonin activity. Research shows that exercise can do that. But something else, that's equally effective, and a lot easier, is a simple mind exercise. All you need to do is remember positive events that happened in the past. Alex Korb, a neuroscientist at UCLA, and the author of The Upward Spiral, explains why remembering positive events helps you to focus on what matters. All you need to do, to increase serotonin levels, is remember positive events that have happened in your life. This simple act increases serotonin production in the anterior cingulate cortex, which is a region just behind the prefrontal cortex that controls attention. When serotonin goes up, your focus goes up. Ultimately, that's what you should do. I know that it sounds cheesy, but when something is wrong, you must fix it. When I can't focus, the first thing I do is to acknowledge that I have a problem that needs a solution. Some people go through life without even acknowledging that they have problems. No, it's not normal to check your phone every 2 minutes. No, it's not normal to gossip all the time. No, it's not normal to be bored. Focus on your life. Think about what matters to you. Then, do those things and don't get distracted. Stay on the path. Good luck. How to beat procrastination, backed by science. Procrastination has been around since the start of modern civilization. Historical figures like Herodotus, Leonardo da Vinci, Pablo Picasso, Benjamin Franklin, Eleanor Roosevelt, and hundreds of others have talked about how procrastination is the enemy of results. One of my favorite quotes about procrastination is from Abraham Lincoln. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. The funny thing about procrastination is that we all know that it's harmful. Who actually likes to procrastinate? No one enjoys doing that. Me neither. And yet, procrastination was the story of my life. When I was in college, every semester, this would happen. In the beginning of each semester, I was the coolest dude on the planet. Relaxing, going out, enjoying myself. Big time. I experienced no stress whatsoever. However, about a week before my exams, I would freak out. Dude, why didn't you begin earlier? I would tell myself. And what would follow is an ugly sight of me, with a bunch of Red Bull cans, locked up in my room, freaking out while I was studying. And research shows exactly that. When you procrastinate, you might feel better on the short term, but you will suffer in the long term. It doesn't really matter why you procrastinate. Some love the pressure of deadlines. Some are afraid to fail, so they put it off until the very last moment. One thing that all procrastinators have in common is that procrastination has a price. This highly cited study, published in the American Psychological Society Journal, by Diane Tice and Roy Baumeister, discusses the cost of procrastination. It is related to depression, irrational beliefs, low self-esteem, anxiety, stress. Procrastination is not innocent behavior. It's a sign of poor self-regulation. Researchers even compare procrastination to alcohol and drug abuse. It's serious. And I've experienced that for many years. The years after I got out of college were also a struggle in terms of starting and finishing work. Procrastination is a habit that just sneaks into your system. It's not something you can shake easily. Every time I had a business idea or wanted to start something, it went like this. Every time I had an idea or a goal, I would start, but along the way, things would go wrong. I went from start to total chaos. Distractions, other ideas, other opportunities, failure, negative self-talk, etc., would get in the way. And the results are always the same, you never get anything done. Beating procrastination. To me, the key finding from the study by Diane Tice and Roy Baumeister is this: the present evidence suggests that procrastinators enjoy themselves rather than working at assigned tasks, until the rising pressure of imminent deadlines forces them to get to work. In this view, procrastination may derive from a lack of self-regulation and hence a dependency on externally imposed forces to motivate work. Self-regulation, self-control, willpower, are all things that we overestimate. We think, yeah, sure, I will write a novel in 3 weeks. In our minds, we're all geniuses and mentally strong. But when the work comes, we cop out. If you're a procrastinator, you can't help but delay work. And that's true for the small and big tasks. Sure, everybody fears to step outside of their comfort zone, that's why we call them comfort zones. It takes courage to make a bold move. But it sure doesn't take any courage to complete small tasks like paying bills, printing out something for your boss, doing taxes, etc. The truth is, procrastination has nothing to do with what you're trying to do, small or big. It can wait until later. It can always wait, right? For me, completing tasks went like this. There comes a moment between the start and end of a task. I call it the slope of procrastination, when you give in to one distraction. And that's exactly the moment you give up being productive. You start working on a task, you're excited, you're focused, but then, after some time, you think, let's read the news for a second. It always starts with just one thing. Then, you think, I might as well watch one episode of Game of Thrones. Then, a video on YouTube, and then another one. Then, a little bit of Instagram browsing. And so forth. It always ends with a bang. This is the last time I'm wasting my time. Yeah, right. Willpower doesn't work. Systems do. What you really need is a system for doing work. A lot of people shy away from routines, systems, and frameworks because they want to have freedom. I'm sorry to disappoint you, freedom is your enemy. The fact is that, if you want to get things done, you need rules. What are some things that research proved to be effective? Self-imposed deadlines. Accountability systems, commitment with friends, or a coach. Working/studying in intervals. Exercising 30 minutes a day. A healthy diet. Eliminating distractions. And most importantly, internal motivation. If you combine the right productivity tactics, you have a productivity system. The deadlines create urgency, accountability will create responsibility, working in intervals improves your focus, exercising will give you more energy, so does a healthy diet, and eliminating distractions will take away the temptations. But there's no system that can help you if you don't have an inner drive. People overcomplicate that concept, but it's simple. Why do you do what you do? If you don't know, make something up. If you know why you're doing something, even the most annoying tasks become bearable. It will become a part of the bigger picture. So, instead of diving into work, take a step back, think about why you do what you do, and then rely on a system supports that. Not rocket science. Just science. How to stop wasting time and improve your personal effectiveness. The reason I research productivity is simple. I think that a productive life equals a happy life. Also, if you're more productive than average people, you'll advance faster in your career. You learn more. You do more. And eventually are rewarded more. And when I talk about productivity, I talk about being effective. Because productivity doesn't suggest that you get the right things done. It just means you get a lot of stuff done. But that's not what matters. Effectiveness, however, refers to getting the right things done. And if you want to do your job well, earn money, live a meaningful life, or learn skills, that is what matters the most. Otherwise, you just run around in circles. You might appear busy, but you won't achieve anything meaningful. In other words, it's easy to do useless work. Work that doesn't bring you closer to the outcomes you desire. Results matter the most. Practically, that means this: you might work for 50 hours a week, but if you don't experience any growth personally, emotionally, financially, you're not effective. People often ask me, where do I begin? To answer that question, I want to share one exercise that I teach in my productivity course, Procrastinate Zero. It's an exercise that I picked up from Peter Drucker's The Effective Executive. To me, Drucker is the first and best thinker when it comes to effectiveness for knowledge workers. Many of the books, articles, productivity tools, and productivity apps you see these days are all in a way influenced by Drucker, who essentially invented the term personal effectiveness. What you will find next is a simple exercise from The Effective Executive, which I modified slightly to make it easier, that you can apply to become more effective yourself. Step 1. Know thy time. I often hear people saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. I keep procrastinating. My question is, do you know thy time? If you don't measure your time, it's tough to stop procrastination or improve your productivity. Because if you want to manage your time better, you have to know where it goes first. Your memory is not sufficient. If I asked you what you were doing exactly 1 week ago at this time, would you have an answer? There you go. How do you know your time? Keep an activity log. Before I even have a real session with clients, I often ask them to keep an activity log for 2 weeks. An activity log is exactly what you imagine, an hour-by-hour record of what you're doing throughout the day. The specific method you use for your activity log doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you want to keep a record for at least 2 weeks. Preferably, you want a whole month of recorded activities. I just keep a pen and a notepad on my desk, and every hour I write down the time and what I've done during the past hour. It's important to keep the notebook visible, so you don't forget. Step 2. Identify the non-productive work. This step is actually very simple. I just have one question for you. Go through all the recurring activities in your log one by one. What would happen if you would stop doing them? If the answer is, all hell breaks loose, don't change anything. But if your answer is, nothing would happen, you've hit gold. We all do activities that have zero return. I call those activities time wasters. Step 3. Eliminate the time wasters. Boom. That's it. Know where your time goes. Identify the critical tasks from the trivial tasks in your life. And cut the trivial, time-wasting tasks. That's simple. Yes. If you want to be a super effective person, you regularly keep a log. You don't have to keep a log for 365 days a year. Instead, do 2 stretches of 2-3 weeks a year. That's enough to keep track of your time and identify new time wasters. Also, the additional benefit of such a simple exercise is that it forces you to think about your daily routine. Often, we start time-wasting activities, and they become habits. And if you don't become aware of the pointless behavior, it's difficult to break those bad habits. I've found this exercise to be one of the most powerful things in productivity. Start now. Your activity log probably looks something like this. Insert time. Read Darius Forrest's article about keeping a time log and started my own time log. Insert time. Turned off my phone and got back to whatever you were working on. Insert time. Browsed the news, Facebook, Instagram, and watched YouTube videos. Be honest with yourself. Shit happens. Insert time. Responded to emails. Great. I'm happy to see that you started. Now keep going for another 2 weeks. The habits of unproductive people you don't want to copy. The reason I study productivity is that I'm an unproductive person. I truly am. I sleep too much. I talk too much. I read too much. I listen to music all day. I watch movies. I buy gadgets that turn me into a zombie. If it weren't for my productivity system, I'd get nothing done. I wouldn't even write this article. But if you browse social media, all you see is super productive, healthy, and wealthy people. Is that really the case? I don't know. I just know this: you can't be productive 24/7. And a big part of being productive is about getting rid of unproductive habits we all have. What follows is a list of 10 unproductive habits that I learned to do less, or eliminate. Do you have a few of these habits? Don't worry, we're all unproductive at times. But if you have 5 or more, it might be time to change. One thing is sure, no one wants to be an unproductive person. Working too much. Some days I can work 12 or 13 hours straight. I only take a break to exercise and eat. And I can keep that up for a few days. But after a few days, there always comes a crash. Big time. I struggle. I can't get stuff done. I don't even want to get stuff done. It's not good. So I learned to be more calculated with how much I work. Hemingway tried to stop at the height of his day. That's also my new goal. But that's hard because we always want things fast, fast, quick, quick, now, now. Just know yourself, your work, and your deadlines. Don't have a deadline. Take it easy because you need that juice for stressful times. And most importantly, have patience. Worrying too much. What if I go broke? What if I lose my job? What if she doesn't love me? What if I get cancer? What if this plane crashes? What if I lose my sight? What if I... You got your head so far in the sand like an ostrich that you can't see how self-absorbed that way of thinking is. It's always about me, me, me. I know all about it. The above examples are all from my personal life. I used to be the king of the what if game. But here's the thing, you're not going to die right this second. Get over yourself. Stop worrying. And do something useful. I know, it's not that simple, but still, you can learn how to stop worrying. Being stubborn. We deal with people all the time. Do you ever think, why should I listen to this guy? Or, what does she know? I don't know. Maybe more than you do. We just don't know until we listen to others. But if you always think you're the best in the world, you never give people a chance. I think everyone is stubborn. Some are extreme, and some are just a little stubborn. I must say, stubbornness is also a good trait. It's good to be deaf to critics and not about care what people think. But being stubborn in relationships is plain frustrating. That kind of stubbornness is not good. And it just so happens to be that life is based on relationships. And your career too. So when you refuse to work with others, you're sabotaging everyone else that's involved. Just remember that. I try to remind myself often that stubbornness can be bad. But sometimes it's so bad I don't even listen to myself. But I keep trying. Checking things. What are you doing? I was just checking Facebook. What are you checking? Email. TMZ. CNN. NBA. NFL. Instagram. Twitter. Snapchat. Checking is not a useful thing. It might be a verb, but it's not a real action. When I started blogging, I always checked my stats for no reason. Then I thought, what's the outcome of checking? Nothing. You just consume information. I try to keep my checking at a minimum. That's why I deleted all news and social media apps on my phone. I don't even have email on my phone. Otherwise, I check it all the time. I don't want that. I only want to check my email when I have time to answer emails. Checking is a habit that you can never fully eliminate. I still follow the NBA because I like it. Pick only one or two checking vices you actually like. Eliminate the rest. You're not missing anything anyway. Escaping life. Until 2 years ago, every time I'd get stressed out, I said stuff like, I need a drink. Or, I have to go on a vacation. And when I had issues at work or in my relationship that became too much to handle, I preferred to pretend they didn't exist. Sometimes I would take some time to talk about it. But there are always deeper issues at play. Back then I didn't like my job, relationship, and the city I lived in. I basically didn't like my life. Did I change it? Nope. I always tried to escape my issues. Escaping problems gives you some stamina to face your shitty life again. But you and I both know that problems never go away until you grab them by the root and extinguish them. I learned that the hard way. These days I deal with problems before they become big problems. Saying yes. Most people are afraid to say no. Maybe you don't want to let people down. Maybe you are uncomfortable with the word no. I don't know. Doesn't matter, really. What matters is this: if you keep saying yes, you're living someone else's life. Think about it. Deep down, we all know that it's true. We're not even in control of our own time. Want to be in full control of your life? Say no to a million things and yes to a few things that matter. Not writing things down. Yeah, you have the memory of an elephant. Or you're so smart that you remember everything, right? Wrong. Not writing down your thoughts, ideas, tasks, etc., is stupid. Why? Because you're wasting a lot of brain power when you rely on your memory. When you write everything down, you can use your brain power for other things. Like solving problems. That's actually useful and advances your career. If you journal, that's even better. But I've found that not everyone likes the idea of journaling. So let's just call it writing things down. What did you write down while you're reading this article? Being hard on yourself. I suck. No, you don't. Why? You got out of bed this morning, right? Yeah. Congratulations. You survived this hard thing called life. Be proud of yourself. Everything you do after getting out of bed is a win. Neglecting your personal education. Woohoo. I finished college. Goodbye lame old books. If that was you, no matter how long ago, you do suck. Who learns one thing and stops forever? I don't even know why we have that idea planted in our brain. I always thought that learning stops when you get out of school. But the truth is, your life stops when learning stops. Invest in yourself. Learn something. Read books. Get courses. Watch videos. Do it from home or go places. It doesn't matter. Just learn new things.
Oi,
You'll be more productive and more excited about life.
vou.
Hating rules. I saved the best for last. Most people hate rules, right? It starts when we're kids. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that?
Põe ela pra
Because it's better for
não
you.
tomar banho.
That's why. You weird kid, but when we're adults, we don't have to follow the rules, other than actual rules set by the government, but you get what I'm talking about. Rules are dumb. That's what I always believed. I thought I was a maverick. But I was an idiot. Rules are actually the best thing about life. Without rules, we would be hot dog eating pigs right now. And when it comes to productivity, the first rule is, have rules. If you want to live without rules, go ahead. But life is not Fight Club. Rules actually help us to solve problems and get the most out of life. Josh Weltman, an advertising creative director for 25 plus years, and the co-producer of Mad Men, put it well in his book Seducing Strangers. Solving a problem requires a weird combination of freedom and constraint. Whenever I hear, just have fun with it, or think outside the box, I know from experience that things are about to turn into a colossal waste of time. Good news, you make up the rules. For example, one of my personal rules is this: never complain. Another one is, read and exercise every day. And, close the day every evening by setting your next day's priorities. When you combine all your productivity rules, you have a system.
Quer fazer com o papai?
Voila! And a system changes everything. I rely on my system to work smarter, better, happier, and effectively. It took me years to figure out that a system is a good thing, and a few more years to create one, but it was worth it. Because now, I get to be a productive person. Not bad for an unproductive person, huh? This 30-minute evening ritual will help you to kick life in the ass. After a busy day, it's quite challenging to wind down and get ready for a good night's sleep. Too often I find myself working until late. And sometimes I might find myself reading or watching a TV show. And when you're ready to go to sleep, you can't. Your mind is buzzing with thoughts you don't want at that time of day. It's no secret that a lot of people have difficulties with sleeping. According to the National Sleep Foundation, 45% of Americans say that poor or insufficient sleep affected their daily activities at least once in the past 7 days. Why is the evening so important? Well, you might have a perfect morning ritual, a fully planned calendar, and the intention to crush your day, but if you lack the energy, you're not doing anything productive. During the past 6 months, I've experimented a lot with evening and morning rituals. What I've found is that a morning ritual is easy to implement in your life. But they're also easy to quit. When we wake up tired, we often fall back on our, not helpful, habits. End result? You lose, and life wins. You end up not focused, out of control, agitated, and just not happy overall. That's why I've created an evening ritual that helps me to get ready for some well-deserved rest. We all know it, get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. But too often life gets in the way, and we don't follow common sense. But with the following evening ritual, I've found a good way to bring more consistency in my evenings, and therefore, my life. From minute 0 to minute 10, close the day. Every evening I take 10 minutes to journal about my day. In a few sentences, I write about what I've accomplished, what I've learned, and anything that's worth remembering. That simple exercise helps me to, 1. Remember what I did. Sounds stupid, but we forget most things we do. 2. Review my progress and see whether I'm doing all the things that I should be doing, like reading, working out, spending time with my family, writing, talking to people I work with. I've learned this exercise from Jim Rohn. He says, at the end of each day, you should play back the tapes of your performance. The results should either applaud you or prod you. It's simple. Close the day before you start a new day. Also, close every week before you start a new week. Similar for every month and every year. Sounds simple, right? It's one of those simple ideas that have a huge impact on your life. From minute 10 to minute 20, review tomorrow's calendar. This is essential. Often, we worry about problems that are not real. But when you say to yourself, I'm going to work on problem X from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m., you can relax. Also, there's nothing you can do late in the evening. Just go to bed, already. Leave the problem solving for tomorrow when your brain is fresh. From minute